In the state of Tamaulipas, Mexico, one man dared to face one of the country's most feared criminal groups of the time. This is the story of Don Alejo Garza Tames, a man whose courage will live forever in Mexico's memory. Alejo Garza Tames, known as Don Alejo, was born on July 17, 1933, in Allende, Nuevo León. He grew up in a modest family. His father owned a small sawmill. From childhood chores in the pine-covered hills to running errands in Montemorelos, Allende, he learned the value of hard work and community responsibility from an early age. Neighbors remember him as determined, generous, and deeply protective of his people. As a farmer and businessman, he understood the challenges of life in northern Mexico. He co-founded a lumber supply company with his brother Rodolfo. In 1976, they bought the San Jose Ranch, 1,600 acres near Padilla Lake, 15 kilometers from Ciudad Victoria, Tamaulipas. There, he raised cattle, fished tilapia, and grew oranges. He was a lifelong hunter and founding member of the Allende Hunting, Shooting, and Fishing Club. He carried that resilience into every decision he made, a quality that would define his stand against Los Zetas decades later. Los Zetas began in 1997 as the armed wing of the Gulf Cartel, composed initially of 31 former Mexican Special Forces soldiers, GAFE deserters, trained in counterinsurgency, parachuting, and sniper tactics.
Y como le hemos informado antes de ser Zetas, estos hombres fueron militares y conformaron uno de los brazos armados más sanguinarios.
They applied military training to criminal activity. Under Ociel Cárdenas Guillén, they protected drug routes and eliminated rivals. Witnesses claim they quickly gained notoriety for intimidation and extreme tactics. By the early 2000s, internal fractures grew. Ociel was arrested in 2003 and extradited to the U.S. in 2007.
De Ociel Cárdenas Guillén se dio tras un intenso tiroteo, como el de hoy, en el que fue muerto. Y también entonces fue con el ejército y también fue en Matamoros.
Los Zetas officially split from the Gulf Cartel and began expanding into northern Mexico, including Tamaulipas, Nuevo León, and surrounding regions. Reports say their expansion led to turf wars with rival cartels and constant pressure on local communities.
El día de ayer, el pueblo de México fue testigo de uno de los actos de barbarie más terribles de los que se tenga memoria. Un grupo de criminales sin escrúpulos, sin respeto por la ley, por la vida ni por la sociedad, atacó un casino en la ciudad de Monterrey.
Their presence brought fear to farmers, townspeople, and small business owners. Residents described armed convoys sudden raids, and a climate where silence often meant survival. It was into this environment that Don Alejo would make his stand. On November 13, 2010, around 10 a.m., a convoy of unmarked trucks arrived at San Jose Ranch. Approximately 15 masked men in tactical gear surrounded the main house. They demanded Don Alejo abandon the property within 24 hours. Offering a small payment, he refused. Neighbors recall seeing him coordinate with a small group of trusted workers, reinforcing fences and preparing for defense. He dismissed his employees early, telling them to take the weekend off and stay safe. Alone, he cleaned and positioned his hunting rifles, bolt actions, shotguns, and a .38 revolver at every door and window. His calm determination earned him respect and notoriety. The local community began to see him not just as a farmer, but as a symbol of resistance. One man willing to stand up where others had only fear. The final confrontation took place on November 14, 2010. In the early hours at Don Alejo's ranch in Tamaulipas, according to reports, an armed group of over 25 Zetas returned, equipped with AR-15s, AK-47s, and grenades. They demanded surrender. Don Alejo opened fire first, using hunting rifles and his .38 pistol. He killed 4 assailants and wounded 2 others in the initial exchange. The gunfight lasted approximately 2 hours. The Zetas fired automatic weapons and launched grenades, damaging the house and wounding Don Alejo with shrapnel. He continued resisting from room to room. Mexican Marines, alerted by a distant gunfire, arrived hours later. They found the ranch in ruins, walls riddled with bullets, unexploded grenades, and 6 Zetas casualties abandoned outside. 4 dead, 2 unconscious. Inside, Don Alejo lay dead beside his rifles, killed by 2 gunshot wounds. Though he did not survive, his resistance became legendary, an inspiring example of courage against forces most would consider unbeatable.
Como informamos, Milenio Televisión pudo entrar al rancho San José, esta propiedad del empresario Alejo Garza Tamés, que él defendió con su vida el pasado 13 de noviembre. Este rancho está a unos 15 kilómetros de Ciudad Victoria. Hoy lograron entrar nuestros compañeros Joaquín Fuentes, reportero, y Miguel Ángel Fuentes, camarógrafo. Y las huellas de la resistencia, de ese gesto de Don Alejo, están ahí. Ahí se ve lo que ocurrió. Ahí está el lugar que este hombre, van a ver, no es un rancho de ricos, no es un rancho potentados, como uno hubiera podido pensar, pero ese rancho, Don Alejo dijo, no se lo voy a entregar a los criminales. Los criminales llegaron, como hemos dicho aquí, lo mataron, pero antes de que lo mataran, Don Alejo se llevó a 4 criminales y dejó heridos a otros 2.
Don Alejo's death marked the end of his personal stand, but it also cemented his status as a symbol of defiance. Residents of Tamaulipas and northern Mexico remember him for his unwavering courage. Reports say that even members of local communities who feared Los Zetas drew inspiration from his actions.
A las 5:30 de la madrugada del otro sábado, aquí adentro se murió un hombre a balazos, defendiendo su casa, su causa, su credo, su vida.
The Zetas maintained regional control for years, but Alejo's story persisted, passed down in corridos, news reports, and local memory. The ranch remains in family hands. His example illustrates how one individual's courage can resonate far beyond a single confrontation. Can one person truly make a difference against overwhelming power? Don Alejo's story reminds us that courage, integrity, and refusal to surrender can leave an everlasting mark on history.
Alejos Garza también.
Claro que sí.
If you were in his place, what would you have done? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more Tales from Mexico's Underground.